Hello, everybody. Welcome to Soar and Pair. We're not together.
Why not have technical problems together?
Yes.
Soar and Pair is soaring together to explore new adventures while inspiring others to create their own, even with technical problems.
See, I'm not the only one that has technical issues.
But welcome, but we have a confession to make. I know if those of you who are following us, if you listened to last week's episode, we said, hey, we're gonna take a video of our new RV, we're picking it up.
And instead we're here.
So we will get to that in a moment.
Right.
So just a couple updates for us, for me and my music, and then Sandy and her healing energy business. So I have set the date for the next concert, the last concert that I'm going to do at least before we hit the road in the summer. It'll be Sunday, May 23rd, so 4 weeks from today. 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We will do Facebook Live, but we're also doing an in-person concert at the Casa Grande Presbyterian Church. And because there's limited seating, I'm going to do a 3 o'clock and then also a 5 o'clock. We'll only tape one performance because...
Same thing.
But we're going to raise money for Seeds of Hope, which is a nonprofit business. And we may have something on Facebook while I'm performing. If you want to donate, that's great. So excited about that. And
what does Seeds of Hope do if people want to donate? What is it that they do?
They plant hope. Hope is planted. And people have flowers of hope. I believe they actually, I don't know all that they do, but I know they do like a community garden. I know that they do.
So they really do.
Yes, they do something with seeds. So it's a great nonprofit. It's been around for a long time. I know they have programs to help the youth, and I believe something along the lines of a food pantry and other things that they do. A lot of things. If you want to really see what they do, Seeds of Hope AZ for Arizona.com, because all I know is they plant stuff. So
I really threw it.
She put me on the spot, but she's getting me back because I put her on the spot so much.
Right.
So she's like giddy and happy to do that because it's hard for her to put me on the spot. I usually, right? I mean,
we'll go with that.
Again, piano concert May 23rd. I just realized I have 4 weeks to prepare and be ready and to do 2 performances, so got my work cut out. So it's a great excuse because as we're 2 months out today from moving out of the house, Sandy's like packing up stuff already, starting to pack, and I'm like, I gotta go practice.
Yeah.
Call me if you need me.
Yeah. Sucker.
It's a great excuse. But truth be told, she thinks better when I'm not. Like, what do you want me to do?
It is true. It is. But he kept checking in to see if I needed help and stuff. It was great. It worked out.
Basically, I left her alone. She did better. And then when it was time to move the heavy box, Jim.
Exactly.
Get something high in the ladder, Jim. So that's how we work. We know how we roll.
Yeah, we know our strengths, right?
I know my excuses, just like any other guy. I know
Right.
a great excuse. So, all right. So that's update on my end. On your end, you want to give them a little sneak preview of what you're planning to do?
So I will be having a Mother's Day sale coming up. So there will be more coming out on Facebook about this, but I'll be doing a 50% sale for a limited time. And this is kind of my launch, really jumping into the business and getting started in that direction.
Right.
So it'll be right around Mother's Day. I'm thinking a few days up until Mother's Day and then probably the day after, just so you know.
So 50% off on her half hour, an hour and a half long healing sessions. Just as a reminder, she does polarity, craniosacral, intuitive readings, Reiki, and she's very, very good. SandySoren.com if you want to take a look at her website and schedule an appointment.
Yeah, you can go right onto the calendar from the website and schedule right there.
Right. So we will have that coming up too. And in the midst of all of this, we're, as a lot of you know, as you're following us, we're getting ready to, we have 2 more months in this house that we've lived in now for 6 years. It'll be 6 years. And we are downsizing, packing up, packing it in, and moving into our RV full time. People keep telling us, oh, I wish I could do this. That's my dream. I really want to do this. And yet, here we are, really doing it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people want to do it, but it's a lot. And, you know, to pack up your whole life and take off on the road is not something everyone can do. So I consider ourselves very fortunate that it's something that we're in a stage of our lives that we can do this, because it's something we've always wanted to do.
Exactly, and it's not without risk. I was talking to Sandy earlier today about how in the medical insurance, when you retire, when I retire, goes way down, and it costs a lot more. So it's a big deterrent for people who want to retire before they hit 65, the Medicare age with the government.
Especially because he's had such good insurance all this time.
Yeah, we've been spoiled. So it's a risk to step away from that. But like I was telling her, do we stay in our stressful jobs and lives for the next 8-9 years?
And use that insurance, right?
Right.
Or
right. And use that insurance a lot.
Yeah.
Or do we step out of that stressful way? And of course, we need to take care of our bodies, eat well, become more active, become more relaxed.
Grounded. Yeah.
Right. Connected. Follow kind of our hearts, our dreams, and travel, and not really need to use the insurance.
Right.
And only have it in case of an emergency. If there's a issue, an accident, a problem, we have it. But it is a risk, but it to me, it's almost like this treadmill that you're on. You stay in a, I'm not going to say I'm not happy in the job, but you stay in a job that weighs on you, that's stressful, and you develop these chronic conditions, and you need that insurance. And so then you can't, you're kind of stuck.
It's a cycle.
Because if you step away from the job and you lose the insurance, the price of medicine or goes exponentially up, and you got to stay with the job that gives you good insurance. That's sort of the trap. I think it's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's just a Star Wars reference. We watched the Star Wars marathon once, and I don't know if it's for those of you who like Star Wars, it's the what is he, like an insect dude? That's the Admiral.
Yeah, the Admiral.
In the Return of the Jedi, right at the end when they're trying to get to the to the main weapon that destroys the planet, and all of a sudden, the bad guys all converge at once. It's a trap! And they did this thing where it's a trap! It's a trap! It's stuck. So,
yeah.
Random references by Sandy. So, the trap or the treadmill that we feel like we're jumping off is not without risk. But I think there's a reward to getting off that treadmill of working 5-6 days a week and pushing through all that.
I agree completely. Just to reduce our stress and hopefully reduce the need for all of the medical. Right.
And then hopefully not get too much clashing in a smaller space.
In the mosh pit.
I admitted to Sandy, I was talking to her on the way to get the RV, which we'll talk about in a second. I'm like, I'm going to admit, the times I have driving on my own, that my alone time, I'm used to that. that's going to be something different for me to adjust to. And what did you say to me? You're like, I think you said like, so are you saying you don't want to, be with me 24/7?
What are you trying to say?
Yeah,
Jim?
what are you trying to say? And I'm like, Anyway, she's just joking with
I'm
me,
just teasing.
but
I value my alone time also, and so I think we'll figure it out. Whether it's reading in one end while the other one's driving or what have you, and then when we stop, we can go on hikes together and alone.
Right.
We'll carve out ways. We'll be fine.
yes, we will. No, it's just a matter of always, and I think those of you who have followed us, we're always very much vocalizing something before it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's vocalizing a thought, a potential, something that's nagging, a knot, before it forms into this big thing and then we just blow up.
Yeah.
So back to the reason why we're not showing you videos of our new RV. Nothing ever goes as planned, right?
All in divine timing. It all happens as it's supposed to. You got to just roll with it.
So we got in our car. You bought a lot of food.
I did.
We were planning to spend the weekend in our new RV somewhere. We weren't sure where, even if it was just in a parking lot or what have you, and load up the RV and show the kids and drive around a little bit, right? So we get there to the RV place and they took us through a 2-hour info session where I think both of our ears were there was smoke coming out of all of our ears.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to learn with, what do you do with the generator, the inverter, the water system,
and don't do this because it'll screw everything else up.
And make sure you get this, and we have a list of things for you to do, and then let's go inside and show you all the. Yeah, it's overwhelming for a first timer, and so part of us wanted, okay, let's just get in, drive, let's try. So as we went to the parts shop because there's a few parts we needed to get, and they came back and told us that there was an issue, unfortunately, with the water system hookup.
I'm glad they found it now.
And I was grateful they found it. They said, you can take it, but you won't have any water in the system, which means, we can't use the toilet. It's really hard to function, as nice as that is, without water.
Yeah.
So we kind of said, you know what? Keep it, fix it over the next few days. We've got plenty of stuff to do over the weekend, and you get it later. To this dealership's credit, they're like, we will bring it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been great. They really have. And there's a few other minor fixes that they're working on. So it's not just the one, but especially with RVs, everybody keeps telling us there's always glitches. Especially with a new one, you have to work out the bugs and the kinks, and everything moves in it, and so you've got to be flexible and expect these things to happen. So, like we were saying, I'm actually kind of grateful that it happened now, instead of getting out somewhere and finding out, oh no, we don't have water.
Right.
Yeah.
However, I feel like everything we learned yesterday, I don't know about you, but I was exhausted. I was mentally exhausted. I was emotionally exhausted, and we drove back to our house kind of in our SUV like, oh my gosh. I mean, I had you drive. I was just like, I need a moment. I was excited, nervous, trying to soak up everything, and it's just a lot. There's 10,000 things to remember, and
and then we had to go buy all the parts that we need, and just about the time you think you've got it figured out, then they throw something else at you. And I think it's going to, sooner than later, it's going to be old hat to us. And we'll be like, oh, what were we worried about? But you don't know what you don't know. And that's where we're at right now, is in the learning stage.
Right.
So,
right. And we're very excited. It's a beautiful, I forgot how big it is. We walked in, it's 36 feet long. It's 8.5 feet high. It's 8.5 foot wide. So it's close to the size of a bus.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why.
it's a tour bus.
Yeah, that's why we're calling it the tour bus.
Yeah.
The Soar Impaired tour bus coming to a town near you.
So it's 8.5 feet wide, but then with the pop outs, that's without the pop outs, right?
Right, because we can't drive it with the pop outs.
Right. So
Popped
I'm
out. They need to be in. So true. It gets wider.
Obviously, I'm trying to figure out how much wider.
I honestly
How
don't
many
know.
more feet? Yeah,
A couple-
inches and-
Couple more feet, I think. You know.
yeah.
And
It feels like when you're inside and they put the pop outs out, it feels a lot wider.
yeah. So we will. At this point, we're not sure when we're going to do a video because we may get it in the middle of the week and we're both working and it's just
Yeah.
not going to work out. So sometime in May, most likely,
Yeah.
we will kind of have a video. We'll kind of show you the outside, the inside.
Well, yeah, and we're gonna be, after we get it, we're gonna be, even though we don't plan on being able to take it out right away, we are going to be popping in and out of it to
Like the
Kind of-
pop outs.
kind of prepare it. I want to put in shelf liner and just kind of do some measurements and things to decide. So maybe we can do it then.
We'll pop in when we pop out the pop outs. Something like that.
I'm sorry.
But honestly, I think what we learned, and so I feel like it worked out for the best. We were tired.
It did.
I think we were kind of shell shocked. And then we went and signed the paperwork to pay for it, and then we were really shell shocked. Although we knew. I mean, this is our house that we're buying, and so it's a big investment, but we're grateful that everything's lined up that we're able to do this, and now we have 2 months to, get everything ready to go, learn about it, and be ready to go on the road.
Exactly. And that's why I'm packing everything up now so that we do have that kind of time.
Yeah, I feel like this is the time where the rubber is hitting the road, so to speak, where the rubber meets the road, as the saying goes, because this is the time where we've been talking about it, planning it. Ever since we started this podcast last year, it's always been, we want to, soar to new adventures. And you can only soar so far when, you're in your house week after week doing the same podcast. So we're excited that the rubber's hitting the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, it's not.
It's gonna be so fun.
It's exciting, but it's not easy. It takes guts to do this. It really does. I can see why a lot of people are like, yeah, it sounds great now.
Yeah, so actually, yesterday the guy in the parts department was telling us that he has seen plenty of people who actually buy an RV and then forget they have it.
Go on
Never
one
take
trip.
it, or no trips.
Yeah.
He said that one guy, bought it, forgot he had it. I can't imagine. But wow.
No. We'll post a picture of us posing in front of the bow. They had a nice little bow, and it said, "Congratulations to the Sorensens," and of course had our name spelled wrong,
Yeah.
which is typical.
Yeah.
SON. It's SEN. But we'll post that on Facebook, and we will take you on this transition as much as we can. The last 2 months, as busy as we are.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited to.
Even if we do shorter videos here and there.
Yeah. So it's probably going to be more shorter videos and action stuff and less talking and all the wisdom that Jim and Sandy impart when we talk about a subject.
Right.
But it really is taking you with us on the adventure that we're transitioning to. You have just a short time in your job. I have a short time in my job.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my coworkers don't know yet, unless they watch this. Apparently they don't. So, but we are making these huge changes, and I, for one, am very excited. And I think this weekend has taught us that you can't depend on any plan. We have to be flexible and willing, plan A was this, plan B, nope, plan C. I mean, we have to be able to do, not have to, but I think that's going to be key for us to have that flexibility and that.
That's where the fun is.
Yeah.
That's the sweet spot, if you ask me, is in the adventure of thinking you're going one way and then go, oops, going this way, you know. There's a lot of fun to be had in that space.
Well, and that kind of attitude is what's going to help me, who tends to be a little more type A anal. Like, we had a plan. We were going this way. And you're like, it's okay, Jim.
Just turn around.
We're going that way now. But we were going this way, you know. So, and I think I represent a lot of the population. The guy at the RV parks was telling us you get all kinds that buy RVs, whether it's $1 million RV or, you know, the cheapest one. He said some people will come in yelling and screaming, that screw is loose. He goes, you mean this one? And he just goes, yep. That.
It's on my warranty.
Yeah. And it just turns it a half a turn. Okay, anything else? So, I mean, you get the people that are super uptight and those that are very relaxed. Hopefully, and I think you're much more relaxed than I am, which is going to help me in terms of, because I want everything kind of in a nice little bow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of how I have approached, like even my musical performances. I know what I'm going to do ahead of time. I've practiced.
Yeah, well, you kind of have to. It's different.
Right, but I mean, that's fine for a piano concert.
Right.
But it isn't necessarily for
anything
traveling.
else. For anything else.
And I think she has helped me. I think the great part of being with a partner that is patient with you, but that also shows you by example, because she doesn't lecture me most of the time. Yeah, sometimes.
Let's be
but
honest.
by example, though, her time and time again going, you know what? Let's go with it. Until somebody cuts her off on the freeway, she's very, very laid back. Then she turns it, and I'm like, it's okay. Why are you? The other day, a week ago, I was driving. She got so angry at whatever the person did. I was fine. I'm like, just let them go. She's just ranting and raving. I'm like, you're not even driving. So.
That's another story. You know, people they're so rude.
Well, and so what'll be interesting when we drive in this much bigger vehicle, we're going to go slow and let all the fast-paced people go around us.
We aren't going to have a choice.
We will be in the right lane, and if people don't like it, just go around us, you know,
yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
And we have no rush to get anywhere,
mm-hmm.
which is really, really nice.
Exactly. Really nice.
There's not an expiration date to this trip we are taking, which is kind of mind-blowing.
Very much.
So, we're looking forward to it, but we wanted to update you about basically no RV yet, but they're working on the problems, and we're grateful that it's all being taken care of. And like she said, it's all in divine timing. And I was so exhausted. I'm like, and then last night I just crashed, and we both crashed.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's an emotional ride, and you know, it's like anything else. When you're learning something new, you expend a lot more energy than I think most of us realize in the moment, and then afterwards you're just, you know, deflated, tired.
No, I was deflated. Like somebody put a pin in my volleyball. The air just went out of it. I was done. So, I'm like, we don't have to drive it this weekend, but so we will keep you updated. We're excited about all the changes. We want to kind of walk you through the different things that we're going through, and you know, little by little, we will get there.
Yes. But his concert's going to be great. He's got some new things that he's playing, so tune in for that. And stay tuned to Facebook for the updates on my sale that's coming up.
For sandysoren.com. But before we go, Sandyism.
Really?
She's surprised.
I didn't expect him to do it.
I know, but you know, there's still so many to choose from.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So,
Oh no.
I can't remember if I've used this yet or not, but it's a partay up in here. Again, it's a partay up
It's
in
a
here,
Partay up in here.
which means.
We're having a party. We're having a good time.
Yeah, up in here, I guess you can just however you want to take that. It's a partay up in here. So, welcome to our partay up in here.
Up in here.
But anyway, we appreciate you. Please continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us comments, questions, as well as our podcast listeners. We appreciate you very much. And we will catch you the next time, whenever that is. Have a great week, everyone.
Have a good week.
Thanks.
Bye.